I don't usually play a lot of mobile games, if at all, mostly because the phones I have, the screens are not large enough, and the battery life can suck down 25% of a charge for like 10 minutes of playtime. I'm also usually about 2 years behind the latest and greatest phones to be able to handle the games I'd want to play. But in an unexpected turn of events, Apple reached out and said, "Hey, we know you like Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown for accessibility. Do you want to try it out on an iPhone 16 Pro?" Who am I to say no to Tim Apple? What? Hi, I'm Steve Saylor. I'm blind and I play video games. If you're wondering how and what it is I can see when I'm playing games, check out the video here or click the link in the description down below. So yes, you heard me right. Apple reached out to me because Ubisoft is just about to release Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, but on mobile, and they made some interesting accessibility features that kind of makes this more than just a port of what was already a great game to play. So huge shout out to Apple for sending over the iPhone 16 Pro and to Ubisoft for letting me try out this game. No, seriously, this is actually like really huge. I've loved consumer tech since I was a kid, and watching folks like iJustine or MKBHD and even friends of the show, James Rath, get to work with Apple, I was always thinking to myself, one day, and now that day is here. This is so cool. I can't believe they sent me an iPhone. All right, now now I should say, I know people are watching this will already write off this review as a shill, and it's not. I have great things to say and some things I wish were more improved, not just for the game, but also for Apple devices in general. We still be honest in these videos. I got a reputation to protect. First off, I do want to comment on what the new features Ubisoft made specifically for the mobile version of the game that I wish not only could be done more in mobile games, but also in games in general. First off, the big one, customizable controls. This is the dynamic HUD that I wished every game would adopt. Basically, you can be able to set up not only just one HUD layout, but you can make 3 custom presets for yourself that you can switch to mostly at any given time. Sometimes you can't switch if, say, you're already in combat. It will restart to the last checkpoint, which is usually just before any encounter. But back to the customization. You can move and resize all of the touch controls to wherever you want on the screen. There are some bounding boxes that you have to stay inside of, but you can arrange them in those boxes however you want. You can even set the transparency of those controls too, so they don't get in the way of the gameplay if you don't want it to. You can swap out even some control options within the setup menu too, like you can switch between a thumbstick layout to a D-pad like layout, which I honestly did prefer in the end, as I felt my thumb kept sliding a little too hard against the screen, whereas with the D-pad it kind of felt just right. You can also turn on auto hit, auto parry, or auto heal, which is the potion trigger, as options in here as well. More on that in a minute. I loved this. This was one of my biggest gripes with mobile gaming, is that it locks you to a specific touch controls and you have to warp your hand around the phone just to hold it steady and then still touch the controls. Because you can't really move them in most games, this is a massive quality of life upgrade. Other features are that you can set auto wall hold to be on every time you jump onto a wall, which helps make tapping on the movement pad and jumping into other ledges or handholds a lot easier. Plus as well, you can set game speed in this game. I hope Ubisoft actually includes this in the console and PC versions of this game, because in the mobile version, you could slow down the game speed to 75% of normal speed, which helps a ton. Is kind of the perfect speed for me in getting those parries, dodges, and attacks just right, especially for someone like me. That's a huge help. Speaking of a huge help, do you know what would help me out a ton? If you subscribe to this channel by clicking on the subscribe button down below, it would really help me out getting to do more reviews like this. And, so that more people, more companies like Apple can actually, pay attention to this channel. Thanks. All right, now as I mentioned, the game does have auto hit, auto parry, and potion trigger, which can be enabled in the controls customization screen or in the system settings. Auto hit and auto parry are self-explanatory in that they will auto hit or parry enemies for you when you get close to them. Potion trigger allows you to set when you want health potions to go off, depending on how much health you have left. All of those three allow you to, in those fast combat moments, just focus on dodging enemies if you have trouble trying to tap on the screen rapidly, or also if your finger misses the button, or even if you have difficulty reaching your thumb across the screen. Think of them as more game assist for you to use to make the game more comfortable for you to play. All of that along with Prince of Persia's already extensive accessibility such as high contrast mode, memory shards, which allows you to take screenshots on the map, and portals to help you get past those platforming moments that can be more challenging than is comfortable for you to do. This is a huge improvement on already a multi-award winning game for accessibility specifically, which I think is absolutely worth your time picking up on your phone. Now, even though Apple sent me their latest phone, from my understanding, you are not limited to specific models like you'd have to use for the iPhone 15 and above to play the Ubisoft's even own Assassin's Creed Mirage. As long as you have iOS 14 and above, an A12 chip, and 4 gigabytes and above, which basically means from iPhone 11 or 12 and up, you can play this game at a decent performance. But of course, the newer the phone, the better the playing experience it will be. Now, with all that said, I do want to talk about my experience playing this on a phone and how well does that work for me, and also for accessibility wise. Quite honestly, my opinions are mixed. The game is one of the rare instances that the shortcomings I had while playing mobile games like this, the new accessibility helps make it more playable for me. However, I do find the touch controls for games like this is not ultimately the best experience, at least in my personal playtime. My hands kind of get into this claw just to hold the phone, right? Like I don't slide out of out of my hands. I have to kind of put my pinkies on the bottom just to kind of prop it up so that my thumbs can be able to touch the screen with that. And that's like when you're having to grip it like that, it kind of makes your fingers hurt after a while. I do believe while this game is playable with touch controls, and this is the best you can get when it comes to customizing those controls within the game, I would probably feel more comfortable playing this with an attached controller with something like a backbone or a phone attachment to attach an Xbox or a DualSense controller. This is not the most accessible way to play, but it is for me, and it is the most comfortable. Thankfully, the game does allow you to play with a controller, and they also do recommend it as the intended way to play. I am glad, though, that Ubisoft isn't forcing you to buy an accessory to play this game. You can jump in and enjoy it right off the bat. Also, the screen size of the iPhone 16 Pro, while great for me when I can hold it close to my close to my face like this and can read somewhat comfortably, there are some tiny text in this game and can be hard to read from even a normal viewing experience. And until we can get studios to start including text size options in games so we can play them in handheld mode, we still have a long way to go to make that experience accessible. With all that said, as the iPhone 16 Pro goes, it handled Prince of Persia beautifully. The Retina display makes everything pop, including high contrast mode. The 60 FPS refresh rate is super smooth, and I only noticed a few hiccups and drop frames here and there, but I chalk it up to the preview build I was playing. Plus, the battery life. Y'all, I have never had an experience like this before when I played for a good solid 30 minutes on this thing, and it barely took 10% of my battery life from a fully charged phone. Huge props for Apple on that one, honestly. And I would show you how how it looks on the phone directly from the screen, but like, you know me, I have to play it with the phone like this, and you can't capture that when the phone's like this. So it's just when it's that close to my eyes, I just can't get that footage. So overall, I'd say that playing on mobile may not be the preferred way for me to play these types of games. I will definitely try more games on my iPhone 16 in the future. Maybe I'll get my hands on a backbone or a controller attachment so I can be able to play more of this on my preferred way to play. As for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown on mobile, while still missing a few features like no screen reader and no full captions options, but that's true to the console version as well, I think this is just another great way to play an already great game. That's why I give Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown on mobile for accessibility a 4 out of 5. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments about my experience playing this game and playing mobile games in general, please feel free to leave a comment down below. Also hit the like and subscribe buttons while you're down there too. That would really help me out, honestly, to be able to help keep growing this channel. It's been growing a little bit lately and I really do appreciate it. So the more I can be able to keep people getting subscribed, the better. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video. As always, I remain obediently yours. Bye-bye.